One of my clanmates has insisted on using Dawn Chorus with our primary exotic since the beginning of this season, and to be honest, I didn't think the build was that strong until I started to diversify my builds and stop using Starfire Protocol when on Solo 3.0 and started to use different exotics. And Dawn Chorus combined with Prometheus Lens gives big ad clear potential. We can pretty much slay out anything in our path. We're able to stun unstoppable champions with Prometheus Lens. Then we can stun barrier champions by getting Radiant. And then on top of that, we can just switch to a different weapon and we're able to take care of Overload all by ourselves. So with this build, you're able to deal huge amount of damage. You can take this build into Master Lost Sectors, the new Master Raid that just dropped, even the new Legendary Battlegrounds that just dropped. This build is going to give you unlimited health regen. You're going to be able to consistently keep your health up and deal mass amount of damage while scorching everything in your path. Let me show you guys exactly how to set this build up right, and let's jump straight into it. The two exotics we're going to be using for this build to make it work will be Prometheus Lens and Dawn Chorus. Dawn Chorus gives us the exotic perk Rites of Ember. Your Daybreak projectiles cause damage to Scorch on contact, and your Scorch effects deal more damage, and you're going to gain a small amount of melee energy each time you scorch your targets. Now, combine it with Prometheus Lens. I currently do not have the catalyst, but you're gonna fire a solar beam that creates a field of heat energy, and sustained damage applies scorches at target. So this build just synergizes or revolves around scorching targets in general. That's what you want to do, and that's what we want to keep up with this build. So Dawn Chorus gives us that perfect ad clear ability. So now primary exotics do 40% increased damage to regular red bar enemies, so we're able to just slay out any red bar enemies in the game, even if we're 20 under light or we're capped at 1820 going into the Master Raid. For the mods, we want to just revolve around making our Prometheus Lens even stronger. So on our helmet, we do have Solar Siphon, Special Ammo Finder, and Heavy Ammo Finder. Prometheus Lens does take special ammo, so we just want to consistently have special ammo anytime we do use this build. We'll be using firepower. I swap my grenades between the Restoration Grenade if I need a little bit of extra healing. Otherwise, you can swap back to Fusion Grenades, because Fusion Grenades do a lot of damage, and even Solar Grenades. Check out my brand new build with the Sunbracer. Solar Grenades do a lot of damage by themselves, so you can swap to any grenade in this build and it will work for you. We're going to be using fastball, so we're going to increase our grenade throw distance and impact induction. Cause of damage our melee will reduce our grenade cooldown. Next thing we do have in our chest piece should just be the regular damage resistant mods. We do have solar resistance on top of harmonic resistance. Harmonic resistance is going to match with your subclass, so we do have two solar damage resist mods because I was running Lost Sectors today. And then we do have charge up. Charge up is going to increase the number of stacks we can carry from 3 to now 4. And with this build, every time you scorch and defeat multiple targets, you're going to spawn an overpower and you're going to spawn a fire sprite. Once you pick up this fire sprite, it will count as an armor charge stack. So now you're going to be gaining 2 charges of armor charge just by slaying out 2 enemies. So we don't need to pick up stacks on stacks. Now on our feet, we do have recuperation, so this is another way we're able to consistently regain our health. We're able to just pick up an overpower or even pick up a fire sprite and gain our health back. We will be using Solar Scavenger so we can gain more ammo for our Prometheus Lens once we do pick up special ammo bricks. And the last thing we do have is Solar Weapon Surge, so we do gain a nice 7% damage buff on top of our weapon anytime we're slaying out, and then we will make ourselves Radiant for a nice 20% damage. On our bond, we do have Special Finisher. This will be another active mod we will use, so anytime we do finish any enemy in the game, we will be granted special ammo, and this is how we're going to keep up our special ammo while using Prometheus Lens, so we have good ammo economy. We will be using time dilation, so now our armor charge decays longer and we have a long duration. It goes up to 15 seconds, so we have 15 seconds of a 7% damage boost to our Prometheus Lens anytime we are slaying out with this weapon. And the last thing we do have in our bond will be Reaper. So after using our class ability, the next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. So we are just consistently spawning orbs of power, and picking up a fire sprite grants us armor charge as well. So you should not run out of armor charge when using this build, and you should be able to just consistently refund all of your abilities and scorch everything in your path. Let's jump into the subclass. We will be using Dawnblade. Dawnblade is the super we're using because we are using Dawn Chorus, so they just synergize well together. For our abilities, we do have Phoenix Dive. I'm loving Phoenix Dive, especially when I've been running a lot during Nezarite and the final boss of Ruin of Nightmares, just so I can stop getting boosted up in the air and get back to ground quicker. We'll be using Celestial Fire. Celestial Fire, I like it out of the two. I like the range on Celestial Fire, so we will be picking it up. Like I said, for the grenade, we will be rocking a healing grenade. If you're going through difficult content and you need extra healing even more, pick up healing grenade. If not, you can always swap to fusion or solar. For the aspects, we will be using Touch of Flame, so now our healing grenade does grant us restoration. And then the other solar aspect we do have is Icarus Dash, so now we can just dodge in the air very quickly and able to move around even faster. The fragments, we just want to apply more scorch to our targets so we can make them ignite even faster. The way we're going to be able to do that is by running Ember of Ashes. So we apply more scorch stacks to targets. So that's just going to combine with Dawn Cores and Prometheus Lens, so we're able to just stun unstoppable champions very quickly. The next thing we do have is an Ember of Searing. So every time we defeat a scorched target, we will create a fire sprite. And now we will be using Ember of Torches, so we gain a nice 20% damage buff anytime we do use our melee attack against powerful enemies. And then the next thing we do have is Ember of Mercy. Ember of Mercy is going to grant us restoration anytime we do pick up a fire sprite, and we're spawning fire sprites every single time we do defeat scorched targets, and we're going to combine that with Prometheus Lens and Dawn Cores. We're slaying out everything in the game. Using primary exotics is the new meta when going into any kind of harder content. Your regular weapons aren't doing enough damage, so with a nice 40% damage buff to all primary exotics, we're able to just slay out any enemies, and we're able to do big ad clear when the team needs it. So pick up this build if you guys are struggling on the ad clear. Going into new master raid, Ruin of Nightmares, if you need strong ad clear capability, then you could use this build and just completely slay out. With special finisher, you're able to consistently regen all of your ammo, so ammo should not be a problem when running this build. You'll see me just finishing everything, and with Solar Scavenger, we're gaining up to 200 ammo every single time we do finish an enemy. So this build is very strong and built through on ad clear. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.